Hey guys, Nate here. So to continue on this series of improving your movement prior to your next start or next outing, I want to talk about shoulder internal rotation. So what internal rotation is the ability to rotate your arm down if you're looking from it from the side, and that is what we think about as your decelerators. So how well can you stop your arm coming across your body instead of just kind of like letting it hang out and use passive structures instead. So when you're looking at this, when you throw, you're coming and you're releasing, and as you come down through your body, that is this rotation here is going to be internal rotation. So from what studies have shown, you have to pair it up with a little bit of external rotation too to see if there's any risk or any for injury or performance barrier. But if you add this external rotation and internal rotation and add those two together and then compare it to the other side, even as little as 5 degrees of difference from your non-throwing side can be as much as 2.5 times more likely of injury. So how you can look yourself to feel if like you're getting a little stuck throughout the season, just continue to check to see if if you are a person to lose internal rotation. You can find a table and then just lay on the side. Shoulders should be kind of at 90 degrees, so halfway off to the side, and then just rotate your arm up to see if you feel a little stiff or see if you can feel like you're losing a little motion as you throw. You're not going to be exact since you're just looking at it yourself, but you can at least see if you're losing any of that rotation from start to start or from outing to outing. So if you find yourself that you're losing some of that rotation, we want to get that back before you pitch the next time off the mound. That way you're not having any restrictions, you're not having any barriers to your performance, you're not getting a weaker shoulder or a weaker system of the body as you continue to pitch throughout the season. So if you're having a little bit of pain, especially kind of on the outside part of your shoulder, this may be a good one for you to hit if you're limited internal rotation as well. So the way I start to address this, I want to clear up that muscle tissue quality. How I do that is I want to grab a baseball, a lacrosse ball, or anything kind of small that you can use to put on the back side of your shoulder. So shoulder blade is the area that I want to concentrate on a lot, and it's going to be just right below the top of it. So what I want you to do is you'll go ball on the ground and then kind of roll that ball around to see if you have any tender points. If you do, that's probably an area of restriction, but that's probably one of the muscles that are getting tight and it needs to get released a little bit to help your shoulder to be healthy. So from here, once you find a trigger point, a tender point, all I'm going to have you do is bring your shoulder up and down. That's going to help release the muscle, help relax that muscle and bring some blood flow to it so that it can recover. So from there, if you look at it from the other side, I'm just going to put it underneath my shoulder blade, bring my shoulder out to the side, and then bring it back and forth. That's going to help. Just find a few places, a few extra trigger points, tender points, and you're going to do that for about 1 to 2 minutes. Good. So once you have that tissue quality, once it's restored and it can kind of lengthen and shorten as it wants to, we're gonna get into a stretch with it. So from a stretch, what I'm gonna have you do is kind of go into a rib roll and then get into a reach. So two exercises that kind of blend into one. You're gonna start on your side and then go hips 90-90. You're gonna go arms out to the side, and then you're going to draw a bow and arrow. So if you ever shot a bow and arrow, you can imagine how this goes. So one arm, the bottom arm stays flat. You're going to draw that bow and arrow and just kind of get that arm down to the side. Once you're here, just hold it for a big breath. And as you breathe out, just kind of sink that arm down to the side. So you're going to rep through that a little bit. Just work on the range of motion. Get a little relaxed. And then you're going to add a reach into it to work on that rotation. So from here, what you're going to do is still kind of do the same thing, but you're going to bring your hand down to the ground to the side of you. From here, and you can grab your knee with your other hand so that knee's not loosening up. So from here, you're going to pull your throwing shoulder down to the ground and push your wrist into the ground and then reach away from your body with that wrist. That's going to activate a little bit of your lat and get your shoulder down in positioning where it should be. So you're going to reach, come back out, reach as far as you can, come back down, and then reach, and then push into the ground with the wrist, and reach a little bit farther. Hold that for a breath. You're going to cycle through about 8 to 10 of those. Okay, so from there, we got the mobility down. Now we're going to need to work on a little bit of stability in an extended position and a little bit of a rotated position from your shoulder as well. So from where I like to start with my hand on the ground so that you're giving your shoulder a little bit feedback from your hand on where the hand is placed on the ground, so that it's limiting variability. So it's limiting where your hand can go and how much control you have to use from your shoulder. So for what I like to do is go into kind of just like the side sit position where you're throwing shoulders down on the ground and your hips are and you're just sitting on the side of your hips. From here, I want to get that same feeling that you just had from the previous exercise. So you pull your shoulder back, push the ground away, and then you're going to come up in a position of basically hips floating off the ground and hold it for about 5 seconds and then come back down. That's going to get some static stability through your shoulder and kind of really get those muscles working to create a stable shoulder. Now from here, after you do a few of them, we're going to want to get that shoulder moving a little bit more. So still want to keep the hand on the ground, but we want to get the shoulder rotating, or getting the shoulder rotating from the thorax, the upper back. So from here, what I like to do is start from this position and then reach the bottom leg out away from me. So what I'm going to do is pull that shoulder back, push the ground away, come up, and then I'm going to reach that leg out to the side or out in front of you. That way you kind of get in shoulder extension. There's a little bit of extra internal rotation coming from that too. Then you come back up and you come back to your side. Once you do a few of those, you can start coming up to your knee. So you're going to come from here, push up, reach a little bit, and then when you come back through, you're going to rotate and get that leg down on the ground. That's starting to control some of that rotation, that inward rotation, but with your hand fixated on the ground. So you're going to be here, you're going to reach, go all under control, and then come back through. Good. So give those a try. And then we want to progress a little bit more so that you're controlling that internal rotation with the hand not fixated on the ground. So kind of like a true throw would be. So what we're going to do, what I want you to do is we're going to grab a kettlebell, and we're going to lay on our side and try to do what is called an arm bar. And this is taking a lot of control from the shoulder, and we're going to see if we can rotate it, but that's going to be kind of the final step. So arm bar, you're going to be on your side, roll to the side of the kettlebell, and then bring it to the side, press it up, and then the non-throwing shoulder is going to get out of the way, and you're going to start in this position here. From here, I don't want any upper trap being used, so you're going to suck that shoulder away from the ear and then hold it there. If you're good at this and you're not using upper trap, you can start to rotate a little bit. So rotate it inward. That's going to be a little internal rotation, and rotate it out to get back to external rotation. So inward and out. So help really drive that stabilization through that shoulder. Once you do a few of those, come back down and then see what happens. So after you go through all those exercises, recheck again. Lay back down on the table, see if you improve any internal rotation. If you do, great. That's the exercises that I want you to keep doing. If you don't, kind of work to see which exercises will work for you. Not all these exercises will work for everybody, but see which ones work for you, and then continue to do those before your next outing. So that way, the next time you throw, you won't have any limitations in your shoulder, and you're going to be fully recovered by the time you throw again. So you're not throwing on a decreased shoulder or tissue that's not quite optimized. Okay? Thanks, guys. Give this a try and let me know what you think. Thanks, guys.